Ready?
And this link will stay the same for tomorrow, even when it's right. Everything.
It'll always be there. We're live.
Hey, everybody, what's up?
Welcome back.
Yes, episode number 52 of Messy Mondays is your girl Shomi and your girl Molly Mar. Thank you so much for tuning in to another wonderful episode of podcast.
Yes, and advance apologies on how I sound, what I look like, because the winter is coming, as they say in Game of Thrones, and I don't even watch Game of Thrones. I just know that's a thing. But
Yeah,
I got
Game of
hit
Thrones
hard.
is totally a thing in many ways.
And I got hit hard with some sort, like, it's just a cold. I woke up on Saturday. You know, when you wake up and you're just like, oh no, that's it. Like,
yeah.
it's like something is there. And I was like, oh, I can't swallow when I woke up that morning. So that's what happened to me. So I apologize in advance. I'm going to try not to like blow my nose in the middle of all of this.
Let me ask you this. Did you get sick after drinking all night?
No, you
Okay.
would think I did.
Yeah, because that definitely gets you sick.
Well, this might be it. Well, first, I'm going to greet everybody, and then we'll talk about how Halloween got me here to where I'm at. Halloween brought me to where I'm at today. So thank you to everyone, all of our supporters. Thank you again for all those of you who subscribed and review. Don't forget, if you're just new here and new to the page, to subscribe. Somewhere there's a red button that tells you to subscribe, and also review, comment, share with your friends. We appreciate you guys, and we appreciate all the feedback. A lot of you have been enjoying a little bit more of the visual aspect, and I mean, this is more easy, a little bit more easier. That's not a word. That's not a phone. I don't know, but this has been easier for us, given the fact our new way of recording these episodes. So shout outs to you if you're new. Shout outs to you if you're returning, and thank you again.
Absolutely. And also, guys, we want you guys to chime in the conversation. It's really fun when you guys participate. So if you are subscribed to our channel and you do get these notifications and you do start to watch us live, that means you can participate in the conversation, which is actually really awesome, because then that way we can really sit down and have a conversation with you guys. We don't always have anonymous stories, but we can anonymously share your comment. If you don't want us to say your name, just make sure to type that in, and Marley won't say your name. She'll just share your comment. It's really awesome. Also, like Marley mentioned, we have to make sure to recap a little bit of the accomplishments that we have from last episode. Thank you, everyone who watched episode number 51. As you can tell, our views are going up, so that's really awesome. We really appreciate that very much. We want to say a special thank you to Michelle Bertrand. She was our very first on-site interview. Make sure to follow her at MJB_FierceFit and follow her actual business at FierceFit_Bootcamp. Really awesome young lady. She is a very young woman, a very own business owner, and she is really doing it out here, guys. A great inspiration to us all. I know we all want to be able to get to that next level, take that first step and take that risk. And she's a real person who did all those things and was able to accomplish it. So shout out to her. I'm very, very, very much a supporter for people who decide to make a business out of their passions. That's really awesome.
Yeah, that's always an inspiration to kind of just actually put that first foot forward and kind of get moving to what you really want to do in life. So shout out to Michelle. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, if you guys want to be guests and you want us to, participate in something that you're trying to promote, or a new movement, or you're an author, or you're a entrepreneur, you're starting something fantastic and you want to join the conversation, make sure to contact us at Messy Mondays Podcast on Instagram. Hit us up on Twitter at Messy Mondays Podcast, or email us at Messy Mondays Pod. And you can communicate with us at any way, and we'd be more than happy to chop it up with you and see how we can have you on the show.
So back to the Halloween, if Halloween got me to where I'm at today. Was Halloween like last weekend, right? Yeah.
It was. Well, it was kind of like a week of fact that Halloween landed on a Wednesday this year. So it was like a lot of days of Halloween.
A lot of days of Halloween. So I celebrated I went out, I believe it was the Friday before Halloween, So I went like 2 weekends ago. Like, if that makes any sense.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I just want to make that clear. So Halloween was like 2 weeks for me leading
Yeah.
up to and seeing people's Instagrams and all that other good stuff. So I went out the Friday before the week of Halloween. Fine. My costume was very last minute. I'm on that budget life. And I bought like these, I thought they were stickers. This is where like it started going bad, right? So I bought these stickers that does the Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah.
But I thought they were stickers. Come to find out, they're actual tattoos. And you're just
like you mean like the little kid ones, like with the water?
like the water ones that you have to put on. And I was like, it wasn't like one like a tattoo you just put on your face and then go. No, it's like I have to cut it out. I gotta put it like this. So luckily I had a friend who helped me out with the whole process because it was a process. And I bought some little flowers, and luckily I had the shirt that goes with I have like a see-through shirt. I think you saw it in the picture. A clear, see-through shirt.
I was actually going to give you a compliment on how good the makeup was, but now that it's a tattoo, it makes sense. Like, because I was like, wow, Marley, like you really went in.
I shouldn't give away all the secrets if y'all thought it was makeup, but still, we did the whole process, the whole 9, and that was fun and nice. And I was like, I haven't been out in forever. I'm down to go. It's starting to get cold out here in these streets, and it's starting to start rain. Whatever. We started drinking at my friend's house. Shout outs to Jasmine. But it started where she was giving us like champagne.
Why is your friend, because obviously I follow you, by the way, at love Marley _. And I also follow at Jasmine _Roche, is it? Or
Jasmine Roche.
Jasmine Roche, one of those things. But Jasmine Roche for sure. And I would get to see both sides of the story, you know what I mean? Which is cool. You know how you see 2 people at the same event? And she has a lot of alcohol in her house, always. It's like, geez, Louise, you guys have mad alcohol around.
Oh, that was this weekend too. I think you might have saw that where she was trying to buy another bottle.
Probably.
And she's the reason probably for all this. But so we were drinking champagne, and then a friend came over and was like, oh, I want whiskey. And then for some reason, my champagne got mixed with whiskey in it. So a mix of champagne, which is bad.
That doesn't sound smart.
No, it was a bad one. And then when I got to the party, I think I purchased 1 drink. The rest of the night, I didn't buy not 1 drink, but I had a shit ton of drinks on me the entire night. I'm talking about shots of whiskey, shots of more whiskey than anything. And I was like, I don't even know how this is happening. And mind you, me and the girl that was with me, we're both very I don't want to be in the crowd. I want to be kind of upstairs, far away from others, like kind of deal. For some God-given reason, we went upstairs right before the party, like the pile of people started showing in. We made it upstairs right before they closed upstairs to make it VIP. So we was in VIP. So we was in VIP the whole night without paying, and all these people had paid extra money, and we was there drinking. And I've never felt the feeling of this hangover. I've never had this in my life. And I threw up. I couldn't sleep. I was done. And I've never felt this way. And I've
well, I think the shots of whiskey, pretty strong shit to take shots of.
It is. It's very strong. And I don't even know how I got there. I don't even know. I don't know. There's no explaining it. It did remind me that I won't be drinking again until 2019.
Okay, so as they all say.
I know. And then throughout the middle of the week, I was like, I need electrolytes. I started texting everyone I don't like Gatorade. I don't like vitamin water. So I was like, I need other substitutes to get
Powerade. Or you can do Pedialyte as well.
Pedialyte was what I went with. Coconut water is what I went with.
Yeah.
And I thought I replenished, and now I'm sick because it did not replenish the electrolytes in my body.
Yeah, it brought your immune system down, and that's what I'm saying. When you drink a lot like that, especially in the winter, I know because I used to deal with cold weather, even when I go up to visit or whatever, and you drink all night, and then you go through that process of your immune system going down to the freaking suelo because you just went too hard, you definitely get sick. That happens a lot.
Yeah, so it's been a while, but I'm here. I'm alive. I had fun. My first Halloween in a while of drunkenness fun and being slightly dressed up. Now you guys.
Yeah, no, you know what? Honestly, the dressed up thing, you're right. It makes it more fun because it's you're kind of like another character. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's a lot of fun because like everyone's in a really good mood. Like, you rarely bump into people that are in a costume that are in a bad mood.
If you're in a costume in a bad mood, you just need to stay home.
It's really weird. It's like, why are you mad? Like, you're dressed up. Like, I don't know. But one thing I can say, yes, I love Halloween. But like most people who know me know that I love every holiday because I really love just to celebrate things. Like, I'm one of those people. But Halloween is really fun to me. I've been dressing up for years, and the best part of it all is like my friends here in Florida, they kind of have the same attitude towards it. So it's like we're really into it, and like we've kind of spent almost every single Halloween together for like the past couple of years. So we kind of kept the tradition alive, and that's cool. And I hope we have that tradition forever. Who knows? Really cool. I was Cleopatra, and my boyfriend was King Tut. So that was pretty awesome. So we were like Egyptian royalty.
That's
and
awesome.
Yeah, and I didn't blow out my hair. I actually ended up buying a $12 wig on Amazon.
Nice.
That really came through clutch, which is less than getting my hair blown out, by the way. So I was like,
a nice synthetic wig.
Yeah, and I freaking stayed true to the natural hair process, ladies and gentlemen. And I really was like, damn, Cleopatra has straight hair, and I can't come up in there being all like a curly hair Cleopatra. You feel me?
You know what's funny? Jasmine was curly hair Cleopatra. And her whole purpose was just like, I'm gonna be curly head Cleopatra the whole time. That's all she went with. So that's
Shout
crazy.
out to you. That's what's up. That's awesome. And I'm not mad at it, but I just wanted to go authentic as I could. So I did the wig thing because I wasn't gonna do like the full-blown super blue eyeshadow thing that people do. Because I just wasn't, because my eyes are too big for that. But like it was really cool. It was nice to dress up. We actually ended up celebrating more than once, which was nice because you get used of your costume. We went to a Halloween party up in Fort Lauderdale. A friend of mine, Elle, shout out to Elle. It was a really fun party. He hosted it at his home, and it's very nice when people welcome you into their home, spend the money, plan the time, decorate the house, put up all the smoke and all of the cobwebs and all of that. Like a person that put detail and effort into it. Thank you.
Are way more fun than being at the club party.
Yeah. It is. When you do private celebrations for like events, it's obviously a lot more fun when it's at a venue where you're only with your own people. Yeah. So it was really nice. We won a Halloween costume contest, which was sexiest couple costume. Thank you very much. And we had a lot of shots. I got drunk. Sleep on the couch drunk. It was just like I was exhausted. I was out. It was terrible. But overall, very good experience. I also went out here in Miami. I went to Wynwood. Now, here's the thing that I learned about Miami. Wynwood shut it down, by the way, this year on Halloween. Like, it was the place to be. And I'm not saying that because everybody knows I love Wynwood. It's because it was just so well done. It was organized. They had all the streets like blocked off. They had rails. It was controlled. There was mad police. Everyone was dressed up. I'm talking about everyone was dressed up. There was people. So anyone has seen this show on Netflix. It's called La Casa de Papel, which is Money Heist on Netflix. And they rob a bank in Spain. Really good show. I highly recommend it. And they all dressed with these masks and they wore red jumpsuits. So there was a couple that was dressed like them, and like I knew the show, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. So little things like that. Another thing I can say about Miami, when girls go to the gym and work out a lot, this is the day that they choose to show that shit off. Because
that's their purpose. This is Halloween. They're saving it up for here.
Yes, that is. I have figured it out. The goal to working out all year is to dress up on Halloween. There was chicks that were literally wearing like a sailor, right? And all she had was, all she had was a blue bottom, like blue bikini bottom, right? With like a little blue top and a sailor hat. First of all, her body was amazing. And I was like, wow, she has an amazing body, but she was half naked. And it's like, it just shows you like, this girl is really in shape. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really inspires. So thank you to all the girls out here in Miami that were like just naked basically, and really showing us why I be at the gym, because it really is coming through. You inspired everybody that saw you. I was like, damn, like I can't even hate. This chick is on point. So it's like that's what you see a lot of. And I know a lot of people have a problem with women dressing up very sexy and this whole revolution of women being able to do whatever they want with their bodies. I have my own take on that, but that's not what's important. I think that it's awesome that, you know, people are embracing freedoms and don't judge a woman just because she's dressed in a sexy outfit on Halloween.
And if you got it, flaunt it. That's all it. Like if you feel comfortable in it, if you're confident in it, and you're sure in it, just go for it. Like, you know, once a year, well, how much can it hurt? You don't dress up as sexy Santa Claus every day. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like this is your everyday, like, whatever. Like, just go for it.
Right.
So that's pretty awesome. I loved, yes, you guys were very much the sexiest couple, I'm sure.
Hey.
Out there. Because your outfits were fire. You both looked amazingly gorgeous.
Thank you.
And save them shits for next year. Because Halloween's expensive.
Halloween is expensive. Costumes are expensive. And they are. Like, you're going to spend at least $40 on a costume. Like, minimum.
Easy. And you're just, and the adult sizes are much more expensive than the kids. So save that shit and wear it next year, the week after, or the year after, or role play in your bedroom as Cleopatra this season.
That wig, girl.
That wig can come into use a couple times. Make it happen. Too bad for me is the other I'm muerto, so I look a little crazy. But
yeah,
them flowers that can be used for something else.
They don't think that you're gonna try to kill them.
Exactly. Exactly. So shout outs to y'all. And shout outs to just Halloween as adults. There were some amazing couples posted out there. Even celebrity ones.
Getting a delay on when you speak. Are you getting a delay? I'm sorry for interrupting, guys. I know we're live. Are you getting a delay when you see me speaking?
A slight, yeah. It's getting a little delayed. I'm trying to close out a couple apps here.
Can somebody please contact us if you're getting a delay, if you're watching live, please? Because we don't want this to be compromised. But I'm getting a slight delay when you're speaking.
Someone wrote me directly talking about some poor Marley can't breathe.
Okay. So that's working.
Let me see if I have any comments here. Oh, someone said no delay here.
Okay.
And is you guys from the Bronx? I'm not from the Bronx. I am from Lawrence, Massachusetts originally. Grew up in Coral Springs, Florida, with no shame to say out loud.
I am from the Bronx, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure. What does that mean? Look, accent. That's what that's mean. All right. I'm bad. But yes, sorry for interrupting. You were in the middle of expressing a thought.
I forgot that thought now. I am sick. These thoughts don't...
Right.
They're all blurry.
Right. Oh, you know what's funny? Yes, adults now do Halloween more than the kids do. Teenagers be like, oh, that's corny, and they don't want to get dressed up. And we're like all for it. That's hilarious.
Adults and Halloween, and then couples that you see posted. I mean, I know Instagram and Facebook is like our center hub of everything now, especially as adults and like showing out. But like Halloween now, you put more of an effort because you're like, how does this photograph? And how do I look out here in these streets? Because it's competitive with the other couples and the other adults out in the streets.
Wow. Okay.
Do you not see that? Like,
I can see why you say that. I can see why you say that.
I think Halloween for adults is like, there's like this gap in between when you're like a teenager where you're just like, oh no, I'm good. The moment 20-something hits, you are out of there. You are fully dressed to the nines, some outfits. So I just love the whole spirit of it. And then the couples ones, we saw a lot of great celebrity ones. We talked about Fab and Emily, who did, the Jetsons. There was
he also did what was it? From the Coming to America movie.
Oh yes, the McDouals, as they call it. So that's cool. So like the whole
McDowell, I think.
McDowell's, yeah, Beyonce and Jay-Z dressed up track stars, like actual Olympians. And
oh my God,
the Tony Braxton, which was
and his family, that they were all minions.
Minions. So like all of that is just the cuteness of it and like the gatheredness. So shout out to everyone on that.
And shout out to Khloe Kardashian showing everybody that her body is more than snapped back together on Halloween. Like she was like, let me show y'all motherfuckers what I've been doing. Okay. Like I am getting it together.
Whether it's real or not, or however it was put together, it is amazing.
Based on
Every
the way her
single time.
stomach looks, I believe that it was a
It's
little
real.
bit of no. I think it was work.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Again, if you got it, flaunt it.
Who wouldn't at this point? You know what I'm saying? But the point is, I don't know if it's not. Please correct me. Please tell me because I really am very impressed. But it's just her stomach looks so tight. It looks like it was like
Because
work.
it's too, like, I get what you're saying. You know when you
Mm-hmm.
be looking at the belly button now to be like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
mm, if your belly button ended up over here by your breast. So, and if gentlemen, if you didn't know that, that is the lookout is you look at the belly button. You
Don't
have
be
to stare
telling the
there.
secrets, girl.
Sorry to share.
Botched. All right. So we're gonna definitely get into some of the questions that we posted on our Instagram because we had a lot of great activity and a lot of great conversations are gonna come from that. As you guys know, we do post our messy questions, hashtag messy questions, so we can hear a response from our listeners, from our followers, from our community, from our people, just to hear what you guys think about questions that we all think are difficult ones. We are going to talk about the two questions that we actually posted this last week. So the conversation is going to be based on relationships. We're going to start with the first question. What is the proper time frame to wait before sleeping with someone new? I posted something on the Instagram feed, as you guys saw with the couple, and it said, you know, if you have sex on the first date, can a relationship come from that? And we got a lot of mixed responses. I know Marley's going to read a few of them so that you guys can hear. But I thought it was definitely a fun topic because a lot of people really had a lot of interesting things to say.
I was surprised by the amount of responses that we did get on it. I just find people interesting and just like I didn't think
Yeah.
people would share. A lot of gentlemen did have the courage to respond to this.
Mm-hmm.
And one person just wrote, yes, like it can happen. By the way, if you didn't know, John Legend and Christy Teigen slept on their first date and they're a power couple. So
Yeah.
anything can come
Two
from
babies
this.
later.
Two gorgeous babies later, anything can come from the situation. So some people were straight to the point and just wrote yes. And of course, we responded back. That was straight to the point. Do you care to explain? The explanation is like, what happens is that it sets a standard that it's not conducive to development of meaningful relationship. Plus, it makes the man worried that that's what she does. Like, what if she said, I've been on 32 dates in the last 2 years. You're gonna have a big thing thinking that 32 is probably bang, bang, bang before she got there. So I understand. And I'm assuming this is where I get it. Yes. If she did it on the first date with you, you think that she did it on the first date, or he did it on the first date with 32 other people.
But I don't think that men get the same
You
judgment.
don't think exactly. That's why I had to correct myself when I said she slept, and
Yeah.
I had to correct myself and say he could have also.
Because his answer is that he cannot take a woman seriously if he sleeps with her on the first date. He personally doesn't believe that anything can come from that because he assumes that her actions are like that with every guy she goes on a first date with. Meaning there's a possibility this girl has very big numbers, which should actually be another topic. Like, how many numbers is too much numbers? You know what I'm saying? So it's like now this person is prejudging this individual and seeing that they can no longer have an actual relationship with that person. So with that being said, I think that it's not fair to prejudge because just because a person did that with you doesn't mean they do it with everybody else.
Exactly. And for a lot of us ladies, the way we choose to make something like this occur or to hop into the bed with somebody, it's already strategized 80% of the time, 90%. You already go with the intention of knowing what's the next step or what's going to happen at times.
I.e., nice panties, clean down there, nice and showered, you know.
Exactly. How quick the dinner finishes up or goes, how much of a conversation we're having or not. If I'm answering you in one word answers, whatever. Like there's little things that we do going into this, knowing if we're going to or not. I think we had a story once where the person emailed us or mailed us a question saying, should I sleep with this person or not? Even though they're friends related to my ex.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
her intention already, regardless if when I'm seeing this person, when I see them, I know I'm gonna smash.
Right.
So it goes either way.
It's like that. It's like, remember that joke that Chris Rock had back in the day in one of his specials, that as a woman shaking your hand, she knows she's gonna sleep with you or not. Like,
yeah,
she knows. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna definitely give it to this guy. Like, if it gets there, I'm definitely gonna have sex with him. And there is truth to that. Like, you can kind of like tell. Like, yeah, I would sleep with this guy. I don't know how, but you could tell.
Exactly. And then throughout the middle of a date or something like that, also, if the date's going bad or good, we decide right then and there if we change our minds. Women change their minds very quickly, gentlemen. So we'll change our minds at a heartbeat if we're not interested anymore.
Yeah, or like if they say like the really wrong thing, you're like,
oh, the whole turn off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another response was 99.9 out of times out of 100. Yes. I'm not assuming anything about her, but rather how I am. I have no challenge now, so there's nothing forward to.
So the thrill of the chase.
The thrill of the chase is kind of gone for him.
He misses the thrill of the chase. He doesn't like the easy conquest. That was his response. Okay.
Yeah. And so, no, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. My longest relationship, I smashed on the first date. I think that's just men that are that physical attraction. I think that just means that there is a physical attraction as well as and mental. So I guess in most cases, if you have a full physical attraction just for this person, you just want to you're going to jump on them, right? Like you just the physical attraction is too much to bear that you just do it on the first time. And that's a good energy, I guess. If you have that energy, both of you, it's equal.
Mm-hmm.
I guess both parties decide, let's do it. Like we said, Chris Teigen, John Lennon slept on the first night. The energy was there. They both felt it to do it and move forward. But also knowing this is the person they want to be with in the long term, I think.
I think that sometimes you can explain the magical connection you have with certain people. I'm not saying you should just sleep with everyone you go on a date with. You should be a little bit more selective with who you give your body to. I do believe that. I think that in general, you shouldn't just be, giving it out like it's like nothing, because then it loses a lot of significance within you personally. True. So I don't think it should be something that you just, be out here just throwing it at everybody. But there's certain people you just have a really great connection with, and you kind of know very early on, like, I can do something with this person. For example, like that person who responded and said that they had sex with the person and they ended up having a very long-term relationship with that person. Did they go out drinking that night? You know what I mean? Like things. What are the elements to this? Right. They really do change things. And then all of a sudden you wind up, making out in the Uber home or something, like things like that do lead to other things. Clearly, if you, put yourself in positions that can lead to sexual outcomes, you may have sex. But if you're having like a daytime date where you guys are like going to the gym to work out, I'm not saying that you can't end up having sex, but the likelihood is not as high as if you were just like taking shots all night and like at a club. You know what I mean? It's just like, there's different factors that play into it. And you know what? In my opinion, you can't really dictate how things are supposed to go between relationships. Like everybody's story is different.
Yeah, everyone's approach to relationships is different. Everyone's connection with others and how they, like I said, like our minds can change at any moment, and we can step foot into a date with one idea and step into another date with a whole different idea and concept, or a whole other direction or strategy when it comes to whatever we're doing. So yeah, I think for everyone it's all different. Someone even said here, if it was whack, then it's not going to happen. Like if the sex was trash, this is not going to happen. But that's already knowing that if it's good, I'm staying. If it's bad, I'm leaving. Like those kind of things. You know what I mean? Like she already has that mind made up on it.
Right. But then that's when I would say, you see, you just probably killed a relationship that was possibly a good one. Just because you didn't have a good sexual connection the first time, it doesn't mean that you guys are bad sexually together. Because in my opinion, I think sex gets better when you get closer to the person, because you guys have a better honesty between you two, and there's more trust involved. And
yes,
at the end of the day, if you're just hooking up with someone that you met 3 hours ago, do you really trust that person? You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
you might be losing out on a great relationship because you slept with that person too fast. Like, I'm not saying that I'm judging anyone. Everybody can do whatever they want. We're all adults here. However, I think that you are taking away from the natural connection
Yes.
if you get into the physical thing immediately.
I think so too. I
You
think
know
so.
what I mean?
I personally, I prefer, or I would suggest more of a buildup of
Yeah.
things, because then it becomes a more energetic and it becomes a more thought out process and feeling emotion kind of attached to it, depending on where you are in stages in life, in my
Yeah.
suggestion for those kind of things. So shout out to everyone who responded though, because y'all love responding to something like this.
Right. And you know what else? We also got a really awesome repost from Podcast for the Culture. They reposted our question on theirs and there was responses on there as well. And somebody responded, really awesome. We've been married about 9 years now and we have two little trophies to prove it. So no, it doesn't ruin the chances of having a relationship.
Two little trophies.
That was a very cute response. That was awesome.
Oh, love it.
And another person gave a really good response that, just because that's your first date, it doesn't mean that you guys haven't been talking. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying?
There hasn't
And
been a
that was your
buildup already
first
for
time,
this.
right? That you guys actually went out romantically. Like, that was a good point because they kind of made it seem like, for example, online talking and those situations when you're online dating and all you do is like text and
Mm-hmm.
you do that for like 3 weeks or whatever
Build
before you
up.
even speak on the phone. This person is still a stranger because you don't know them. You just know what you guys are texting about, but there's a good chemistry. And then if you guys decide to go on a date and then the chemistry is still there, you might have sex with that person. It happens. You know what I mean? So that's an example of two people who don't know each other and they go on a date and then they end up hooking up. I think that's extremely common nowadays, especially with this epidemic of online dating.
And you're right. I never thought about it in that way. That is a different kind of perspective to doing it. I forgot about the technology part where you're really communicating daily with this person. So you already felt something. So that's
Right.
part of that buildup of it.
Or you met on Tinder and you knew that's what it was. You're like,
We knew what
well,
was happening. We knew what we were here for. We are all in agreement for what we're at.
there you go.
I'm going to put a mute really quickly as you move forward to the next area.
Moral
I
of the
feel like
story is if
sneezing.
you go ahead, do your thing, girl. If you feel like sleeping with that person, sleep with them, but it is a risk. You may not have a future with them because you don't know how that person's going to react to getting the cookie quickly. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, it's still a double standard, and women are still kind of judged a lot heavier if they are the ones that are having the sex early in the relationship versus a guy. He doesn't get the same kind of scrutiny. And if you noticed, a lot of the guys that said there's no chance for a relationship were male responses. So that goes to show men still have this ideology of women being these sacred beings that you don't just have the ability to conquer at any time. So ladies, pay attention. Guys still like a challenge and guys still like to feel like they earned it. And now until things continue to move forward. But for the most part, a lot of the guys want to kind of feel like they earned it. That's what I gathered from the responses from our listeners. So we're going to definitely move on to our following question. And that was another question that we posted, which is, what is the best way to get over a breakup?
I loved this question because for me, and I think I responded back by going on a self-care, right? Like focusing on the self-care, go on a spa day, take a trip by yourself or with a group of friends. I don't like to run away from situations, but I like to get away from just to re-up, right? We all need a refresher. Sometimes you take a weekend to yourself and stuff like that. Like I like a little refresher. So my suggestion is always a spa. And of course, don't go like out of your pocket, out of your world for this, but something that just takes you outside of your element just a little bit and gives you a little bit more relaxation and a reset. I think that's always the best way.
Yeah, and I think that that's a really positive way to go about it, because most of the time, positive is not the action that people take. People
No,
normally do negative to like cope
they
with this.
react. They react in a negative way as opposed to a positive reaction to it. Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things I actually responded to that was that out of sight, out of mind is really important.
Okay.
Unless you work or like live in the same building with the person, or you guys are in a position that you have, you know, children or whatever the case is, you have to interact. It is what it is. You can't avoid it. It's something that you must do. Unless you have any of those existing factors, I think that it's important to remove that individual from your immediate life.
Okay.
You may not be able to completely, because like, as far as your day to day, I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's torture to like still follow the person that you had a horrible fight with, and like you guys, you're devastated that you broke up. Like I feel like it's torture to like watch, oh my god, they went out, oh my god, they're at the bar, oh my god, who's that girl in the picture. Like I think that that's just like a lot, and I think it's hardest to get over the person.
So then my question is, are you that person also who deletes them completely from all your social media, all your like their actual physical pictures you have of them on your page? Do you delete everything off of there? Do you like remove it all? Or do you leave it there as a part of like your history?
Interesting thing about me, I've never posted a boyfriend until I got with my boyfriend.
Okay.
Now. And that's because I know that him and I are going to be together and he's my future.
Got it.
But honestly, like, I don't think that you should just be willy-nilly with it and just start posting all kinds of like, you know, those people that you always got a new girlfriend or boyfriend and they be posting them and you like, you wild.
You like calm down, like bring it back a little bit. It's only 3 weeks.
Please stop posting your relationships.
Yes.
Like, it's really making me uncomfortable that you are reckless. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, think about those things. And who gives a fuck what people think? I get it. But it ain't looking good in these streets that you are going through all these emotional ups and downs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that at times, if you did have a significant relationship with someone and then y'all broke up, and then it's been like 2-3 years, to take those pictures down. Like, I don't know. Like, what do you think?
So funny enough is that I still have, so ever since this one breakup, the one that I do have on my social media, I've never posted anyone after that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
But I've never gone back. I don't have time and energy to be deleting things. Like, the shit is there. The shit is there. My favorite thing, though, to do to people, and I'm just going to be real petty, and I'm going to tell y'all, and be 100% honest. If you're someone I met or just randomly am thinking about, I will go on your page and go way back and be like, weren't you dating this person? And then just scroll to see that you were dating this person. Like, it was just, I'm an insane person. But I don't delete a lot. I don't delete a lot of things. I delete things maybe. I delete things maybe for aesthetics, maybe for, ooh, that looks ugly. Food post, if I ever made a food post or something. I'll delete things minute that don't have too much, but it's very like my Facebook is filled from 2011.
Well, Facebook is different. Like, I have never cleaned up my Facebook personally. Me, I haven't.
I've never cleaned up my Facebook.
It's just too much work. It's like, who's even looking that back? Like, it's just too much.
I will say, and I think I send a couple friends a reminder daily or monthly. And I say, this is your monthly reminder to clean your Twitter. To clean your Twitter. If you are a person, and I'm going to remind y'all today, because this is the first week of November. If you are on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen, and you've been on there since you were like 16, today's a day to relax in bed and delete some shit that you wrote when you were 16, 17, 18 that might come back and haunt you later in life. Because shit is happening to people out here. Whether you're a celebrity or not, it is happening.
You're right.
It is your monthly reminder to clean your Twitter. Clean your Facebook.
Do they have, I don't know, I'm not really into Twitter.
There's apps.
To like clean, okay.
No, there's apps where like, you can put a keyword that I should have been saying and be like, oh, I might have said that word when I was 16. You can put it and then it'll find it for you on your Twitter and you can delete it. Because a lot of people just be getting caught out here in these streets.
They do, and they lose contracts and everything.
And, you know, things that were acceptable to say back in the day just ain't acceptable to say today.
Exactly.
So just clean your shit. But I have not removed any pictures. So you can see what life was like back in 2008 for me. You can see what life was like back in 2011. And then now we're in the now. So very rare for me to delete things. A lot of people said in response to this was regroup, read empowering literature or quotes, repeat in your head, I'm the shit, and focus on yourself.
I really like that response. That was nice. I think that the positive behavior is what I like, because there's been and agree and you like get with a whole bunch of people. That's not good. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just gonna feel like empty at the end. Or like you go on a binge of some kind, whether it's a binge of eating, a binge of drinking, a binge of smoking, a binge of doing drugs. And none of those things are healthy. Like you're destroying yourself. You know what I mean? And you get into a really depressive, dark state. And these types of behaviors are really great to hear that that's what people are choosing to do, because I've seen the other side and I've seen how people get, you know what I mean? Especially guys, when guys get their heart broken, like they really shut down. Like it's a shutdown.
Heartbroken guys, not the ones who are like, oh, we just broke up. Like a heartbreak.
A heartbroken guy is
shuts
down. Like dark space, quiet. You don't even know where this guy is at. You know what I mean? Like they get hit really hard when they get their heart broken. So it's like, you know, it's better to like look into positive things. You know, some people go into the whole, you know, let me get healthy, let me do this, or let me start helping the community, let me start volunteering. Like some people really go at it in that way. And I think that that's really great that people are giving and paying it forward by showing that advice. I've had bad reactions where I regress and I get quiet and I don't want to talk and I'm very secluded, and I'm not perfect. You know, I've had those reactions where that's how you react. And then you have those other reactions where it's like, you got your Beyonce on, like, fuck this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, it depends on how it ended or why it ended or who ended it. You know, like all those things play a role.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about how exactly all this happened. And we bring this into like also the rebound aspect of it, right? Because everyone bounces differently. So there was an example where this question came from was Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson broke their engagement off. And we're assuming because Ariana's been going through a lot of shit. And if you haven't heard her new song that she dropped on Saturday, the shit is fire. She did. It's really, really good. And I would love Ponytail, as I call her. But the song is really great. And so they ended their engagement ring. And then it says that Pete Davidson actually changed his phone number. So again, reactions, right? Like heartbroken people or how you react. He has
canceled multiple appearances. He is clearly still not over the situation. And he even made that stupid little joke on SNL when Jonah Hill, and he asked the other person, and the girl said no, and he was like, oh, 3 for 3. Like he's riding his wave, and he's really not over it.
He is taking that Ariana Grande wave and riding it. But that just shows you also, like, people get over things through comedy also. Those comedians get through things by making jokes, making fun of themselves in their situations, right? Like Kevin Hart makes fun of, though, I think he makes fun. I don't know. This might not be popular, but I really don't care for Kevin Hart sometimes. But assuming that in his old stuff, he would say things about his relationship and his cheating ways, right? So you use kind of a lot of pain and things that you
laughing at my pain was one of his stand-ups that was about that, yeah.
So you talk about things to get over it. So I understand why he would use that, because it's public knowledge, and so you might as well go for it. So rebounding, though, and finding yourself in a different situation so quickly, also, to my opinion, is not the healthiest way to go about things. Right? Like, give yourself some time. Or even if you're dating on a rebound, know and acknowledge that or let that person know in courtesy that this is not a long term, I guess. How do you let someone know that?
I
I don't
mean, I
know.
don't think you can really predict what anything is going to turn out to be. So you can't just like start something with somebody and be like, look, I know this is not going to go anywhere. Oh, maybe you just keep it real, whatever. But the point is, you can't necessarily sell yourself short because, you know, shit happens. However, a lot of people use the method of replacing one person with another. Even the young lady that responded on our thing and said, un clavo saca otro clavo, which translates to, for those of you who don't speak Spanish, one nail replaces the other nail. So if you get the metaphor, I'm gonna let y'all sit and think real quick. A nail gets inserted, take the nail out, insert another nail. So do you get the play on words? So that's just like a saying that you say in the Latin culture. Well, I don't know if Dominicans only say it, but I know I've heard it before. And Romeo says it in all his bachatas sometimes. So, you know, it's a way that people like, it's like the best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody. That's another one.
Yeah, that's
So,
another
you know
one.
what I
There you
mean?
go.
So, you know, people sometimes use that to kind of erase the memory or stop thinking about the person. I think that this is the number one method for men. I think that I'm not saying women don't do it, but I think that men are notorious for hooking up with other girls when they want to like not think about their ex.
When they don't want to think about it. I think you're right. I think that's exactly what it is. Like the metaphors are probably made by men. There's a quite possibility that's where it comes from. So, but it's true. Sometimes you do have to move on with someone else in order to get through the previous one. So I believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And the metaphors does sound very weird when you say it in English, by the way.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing when something sounds so amazing in Spanish and when you say it in English, you'd be like, that sounds terrible. But
No,
it's not what I'm saying.
you just gotta tell people like it wouldn't make sense.
It's not for you.
Like, people want to ask you like a song, and you're like, I can't tell you what it sounds like in English because it doesn't make sense. Like if I said it right now, you would be like, why do you guys think that's a dope line? I'm like, it's just a play on words. It's a play on words.
I hate when people tell me to translate a Spanish song. I'd be like, it just doesn't work, people. It's in Spanish
Yeah.
for a reason. That's it. I
Yeah.
just be like, it is in Spanish for a reason. 100%. Sorry, we had another response on these breakups. People liked the comment of un clavo, otro clavo. So, very fun. I mean, shout outs to all of you who are getting through things and finding your way through things. And even if you have other vices to help you get through where you're going through, you know, you
Or
gotta do
getting
what you
over
do.
a divorce, you know, I can imagine that must be real tough. You know
See,
what I
now
mean?
that is even more, that's an even strong, like, I can just imagine a more difficult process. Like, I guess there's layers to it also, because if it's just a breakup that was 3 months, you get over that faster. If it's something that was 3 years, there's a little bit of process through that. If it's a divorce, there's a different process of these things. I can only imagine. And then a
Yeah.
divorce, children involved, or breakup, children involved. Like these are all processes. And I know for myself, I'm talking through a processes of no children, no marriage, but long term and sometimes short term things. And for you, same aspect in that.
But it's
End,
not
so.
only that, like we're old enough now for the ability of you dating someone that's been married for 10 years. It's possible.
Isn't that insane?
It's possible that you can date a person that is divorced and that was married for 10 years. It's
So I
very
realize at
possible.
this day and age that it is without a doubt people that we're going to meet forward, I'm going to meet forward, or even you, whatever, are going to be in a whole different age bracket who have had 10 years of experience that I have nothing known about and no
Yeah.
idea and no
Yeah.
part of and no
A whole
connection with.
life before.
A whole life. And I never thought I was going to be that person. But that's interesting to put in that perspective that there's a whole other life and that person doesn't know my whole other life. And how much of that old life do you share?
Right.
Right?
I think things come out with time too. Like I think that the subject will come up eventually. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's gonna come up. Like you're not gonna talk about your prom date or like a really messed up situation you went through in high school. Maybe, you know, it's never gonna come up. However, if let's say you're watching a movie and like something funny happens in the movie, be like, yo, you know what happened to me at prom? Like, you know, things then it would eventually I think it's like a person that started dating at 22, you know, that's still not that long ago. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's still fresh and it's still new. And so it still has its progress to go through. For sure.
Mhm.
For
So
sure.
it is interesting. And imagine people that start dating in their 50s because they just got divorced. And it's like now they have to learn how to date and how things have changed. Like people in their 50s right now are in a generation that they didn't do this texting thing. They didn't do the impersonal relationships. They didn't do that. Like things were not like that when they were in their 20s and they were in their teens. And it's like now that they're getting reintroduced into the world of dating, because you're still 50, you're still alive, you still want to do your thing. And if you just got a divorce, of course you still want to, meet people. I really feel compassion towards them because it's like, wow, this must be really bizarre for
It's
you
all
right now.
foreign. It's all
Yeah.
absolutely foreign to those people. So that's very, when you put it in that perspective, that makes a lot of sense because it's so even if you're just a person just gotten out of a relationship and hopping into something new, you still have to put yourself out there in that world. So I can imagine being someone who's naive to technology and having to jump into that world also. So
Well, not necessarily naive, because 50-year-olds love Facebook, but it's just the fact that it's
with the emojis. And we are talking about people we know, I'm assuming.
our parents. No, I'm just saying.
Man, I be seeing them emojis under people's comments and be like, why all the emojis?
You know how your aunt be always commenting on your shit? Like, shit like that. Like, your family be loving Facebook. So it's like,
They be loving some emojis.
yeah, they do.
You ever heard the joke of, what about WhatsApp?
Oh, God, I hate WhatsApp.
But
Every
you
freaking
need to have it.
Dominican in the planet uses
But you need
WhatsApp.
to have it open, right?
You have to. Because if not, curtains. Like, you have to communicate through WhatsApp with your family. Like, they get mad.
You have to, and I think that might just be a Caribbean I don't know. But honestly, everyone that I know who's Jamaican, West Indian, whatever, has WhatsApp. And we have WhatsApp because our parents are going to text us through WhatsApp. And then they're going to send us all those little memes and all those little pictures.
The
glittery ones.
The little flowers.
The quote of the day. Oh my God, the daily quotes is coming and forwarded. Anyways.
Que Dios te bendiga, mi hija. Es tan importante siempre seguir la palabra. You're like, yo, but like,
try being in a different time zone and you got like 4 of those to wake up to. Anyway.
It's true. Shout out to my aunt DR. She stays sending me them shit.
Not even that. So why? I'll never forget. This was last year. So funny enough, me and my homegirls, we use WhatsApp because not everyone had an iPhone. Mm-hmm. And WhatsApp's a little bit easier. I like it because you respond to people's direct messages.
And you can send bigger files.
Yeah, you can send bigger files. But like if there's 5 of you in a group chat, you can actually swipe that one and respond directly to that one line that person responded. Whatever.
Like Telegram, if you guys use Telegram.
Yeah. So why one of my friends sent me was like, oh my God, my mom is sending me this. And then I look over, my mom sent it, my aunt had sent it, her mother has sent it to me, and none of them talk to each other. My mom and her mom don't communicate. So this one little ass meme for New Year's was going around the entire Caribbean. Her family's Jamaican and my family's Dominican. The entire Caribbean island, every island out there in the Atlantic has had this one damn meme going around all these countries. And I was like, these people are insane out there.
WhatsApp is actually a really powerful tool. It's very powerful, and it really has bridged the gap in a lot of ways. And you can actually have the FaceTime conversations with people that live in other countries. It's really great. And when I've traveled to other countries, when people don't have, an iPhone, and because, we can instant message is different. Like we have a different option because we have a functionality that works on Wi-Fi, but that's not the case with everyone. So it really is clutch when you're out of the country.
100%, 100%.
Yeah, WhatsApp is dope. So thank you so much for everybody who participated in this question. If you guys have any suggestions as to what to do, how to get over a breakup, or people that you've seen that have gotten over you very quickly, what did they do?
What did your ex do to get over your ass?
Right. Like, peace, bitch.
Or like you saw that your ex deleted all your pictures off of his Instagram. What? And be like, And that's when you know it's real, is when they start deleting anyways.
That has to be rough. Or when he's like booed up fast and you're like, really?
Like you're nasty.
You're like in love with this bitch. Are you kidding me right Like that is nuts.
Most people repost out of like pettiness. Like, I'm just gonna
Oh
post it.
yeah. Oh, you know a girl is trying to be petty when she posts the 18 selfies with the living me my best life, doing my thing. I'm like, bitch, who you trying to get mad? You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Oh, that's
God.
on purpose. Yeah.
We're like, we get it, girl. Oh, the worst is recycling. People who recycle old ass pictures from like 5 years ago, like 3 years ago, and then keep recycling those same pictures. And you're just like, why do you keep posting this?
The
Like,
heydays
let it go. Let it
when they
go.
really get bad. I'm like, honey.
And it wasn't even it was not even Throwback Thursday or Flashback Friday. It's just like a Monday, and they're using a picture from like 4 weeks ago.
It's not even Flashback Friday now.
You posted this 4 weeks ago. Why are you posting it again?
Yeah.
Anyways, but thank you for everybody who responded on our Instagram, and more questions to come for next week's episode.
Absolutely. On a serious note now, guys, who is voting this election? Who is voting in Tuesday, which is tomorrow, which is November the 6th? A lot of you are going to be watching this tomorrow, which is November the 6th. Who is voting, guys? I think that enough has happened for us to know
where your ass need to be up in
to start voting, regardless of where you stand and regardless of what you believe in. I am a strong believer that everybody's entitled to their own opinion, their own views, and their own whatever. There's a lot of closet Republicans out here that act like they not, you know what I'm saying? And there's also a lot of fake liberals, and there's a lot of uninformed Democrats. So there's a lot going on right now. You know what I'm saying?
And that's
so much going on. You need to really do something, and you need to vote.
And you need to read. I just want to make this clear. I had people who I have a different group chat, and one person had sent a screenshot of somewhere, some news organization that said some crazy shit. And I was like, first of all, did you read the article, or are you just sending me a screenshot? Did you watch the video, or are you just sending me the screenshot? And they're like, no. Well, my friends, I read articles every morning. I read things. I don't even have cable in this house, just so we're aware. So I have to watch clips. I have to read literally information. And so I had to reiterate the fact of like reminding this person, you have to read, you have to listen to things. You have to listen to 2 separate 3 or 4 sources to gather your information. And most times when you're watching a video clip, all the information's not there. It's a reading details. And a lot more information can be found when you actually read articles. Journalists, not commentators or opinionators, journalists find out actual details that'll become more beneficial for you to knowing the information.
Who would you recommend to be a journalist that's worth reading, since you are a person who does follow the articles?
I don't have specific journalists that I listen to, that I don't try not to be just biased to one person. I try to read articles from different publications, and I'll differentiate different ones. So I do read Times articles. I do read a lot of the Washington Post articles. I'll read a lot of the New Yorker. I'll read things from, I'm trying to think off the top of my head where they come from.
But it seems like you have a trend of high quality newspaper / online paper type.
Yeah, things and Sun Sentinel I'll read also. I don't even live there, but I'll read the Sun Sentinel. I'll read the Seattle Times, my local stuff. So I'll read full length articles and things because there's more investigative processes put through that. And journalists have to be held accountable for sources and things like that when it comes to things. And I think one thing that people have confused in the recent years, you and I are commentators, we're not reporters, and we're not journalists, right? So people have confused what a commentator is, and confused also what a reporter is, and then what a journalist is. So, and I think that's a lot of things. So I've had to remind a couple family members to be more insightful and thoughtful. And then I've always text people articles too. I'll be like, here's the full article before we go a little crazy. Here's the full, those kind of things.
To piggyback on that also, we should not be getting our political information from entertainers, and we should not be using that opinion, because right now
As their word.
what I don't like about being a member of the urban minority slash hip hop community is that it seems as if we are swayed by the people that we enjoy being entertained by. And I don't like that, because I feel like that is not an informative way to make a decision. Just because they're throwing a hip hop concert with like a bunch of headliners, and then they have like a politician showing up to that, I think it's awesome. Thank you for communicating and connecting with this audience, is really great. But I don't think that that's the reason why people should vote for that person. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's like that is that is scary, that is what is driving you to make a decision.
And
Like, you should be knowing why you're making this decision.
I think that's part and reason. So there's two parts to that game, right? One is that you got lured into this event. We went to Jay-Z, right?
Right.
And if Obama would have came out, because the purpose was for that register to vote in order to possibly your vote is swayed. But if he was to come out there, we would have had to listen to the message, because we came out there just for Jay-Z, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's one. You're lured into, okay, now you have to listen to me because I brought you into this space and you have to hear what I'm saying. Two, it's also, unfortunately, the celebrity factor of it is where we are now, has put us in the position of the person who's in position now, because they were a celebrity factor who had already a partial or full platform, and people believed in already, because that person was already in their home 80% of the time, or over 20 years, over 50 years. So there's parts in playing with it where people try to, but also people need to, I've always posted, and I'll post it again probably tomorrow, vote on policies, not personality, because you begin to, too many people get too caught up in the personality of things. And it can be fantastic people, great, but what they're saying may not actually align with you. Just because P. Diddy's a wonderful brand, an amazing man, right? He smiles all day. His policy may not fit with me. Like, just as an example. So
And it's
people need
not
to be
that,
reminded
like, at the end of the day, this person is a politician, and their job is to sell themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
a politician is like
And
a
that's why the
glorified thing.
policy, and that's why reading is fundamental for everybody. And the policy of it matters tremendously, of where they lean on it.
Absolutely. And I think that I think one of the most positive things that has come from the Trump era is that we have learned that we need to physically go out and vote and physically make changes if we do not want things to happen. I'm not saying that it's good, bad, or I'm being indifferent. I'm just saying what I think that this has done. This has woken people up, and this has made people more interested in listening to what your local senator, your governor, your mayor is doing. It's now getting people more involved in like your state government, your city's government, your immediate. And I feel like that's awesome. Even though a lot of emotion and negative has come from this entire experience, it's been a very up and down and a lot of roller coasters and good moments, bad moments, everybody's going through all these moments, and everybody's entitled to have their own emotional reaction to it, no problem. But the most positive thing of this now is that we're actually having the conversations, and people are taking the time to learn, and people want to change policies, and people want to, see different laws taking place. And the only way that's going to happen is by people voting. And it's like, you got to vote.
You got to go. And I always find that local is more impactful than national votes.
Absolutely.
So, because the governor has more impact on us than the president does. There's a lot of things that override each other when it comes to state laws. And so and even our taxes and things like that. There's a lot of things that happen within state, within local areas, city taxes,
Cost
blah,
of
blah, blah.
living.
If you live in a household, if you rent, those kind of things, property taxes, those are all impacted within your local elections. And so I think that's why midterms is always more important than the primary ones. I mean, the primary, presidential elections are important just as well, but those local ones is what really eats you. What really, like when we were in high school and the kids don't take the FCAT anymore, they take whatever. Like you'll be like, that's all impacted by voting, and who you put in the school board positions. Like little things like that really matter. I wanted to share that I voted. I'm still registered for the state of Florida.
Nice.
So, I'm still registered for the state of Florida. I actually ordered a absentee ballot, and I actually really liked it. If you've never voted by mail, I suggest register next time for an absentee ballot and vote by mail, because you get to be in the quiet of your home.
Yeah.
And you get to take a moment and you research everything.
And take your time. Yeah,
and you take your time. So I sat here on my desk and I researched all of these new things. Like there's a voting there for should felons be able to vote now, right? Because felonies, you get your right to vote is taken away. Mm-hmm. Now just imagine the impact. Random ass felons, right? Who now have turned their life around. A felony can be anything, not like murder all the time. Right. It could be anything. So imagine just a random, like a person's like, oh, I can vote now. That one vote can change the whole dynamic of things.
Right.
Like little things like that put you in perspective. And so you actually get to think about it. What is my thought on this?
You know that Native Americans still can't vote in this country?
No. Do you know Puerto Ricans and living in Puerto Rico can't vote? And now all them Puerto Ricans, after the Hurricane Maria, who are now in Fort Lauderdale, because we know they are there.
Fort Lauderdale to Orlando, baby.
Fort Lauderdale to Orlando. Who are there now have this major impact.
Yeah.
Like the shit's going to shift.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you get what I'm saying? So like there's all these Native Americans don't have it. Puerto Ricans don't have it. Or Puerto Ricans living in actual Puerto Rico. But like they don't have a say. And so that's interesting. And then you're like, okay, like the felony one, you're like, but wait, how do I feel about this? Right? Like you're like, you take a moment and soak it in. You have a couple days before you turn it in. It's very intriguing. There's the super.
I don't think that because a person committed a crime, they can't make a decision as to who should. I don't think that should take that away, in my opinion.
No, of course. And I'm just saying, you get to have a moment to read the question.
Yeah.
And soak it in and put some thought into it. It asked me for the agricultural person. I'm like, I don't know who the fuck these people are, but I Googled them and I searched them and I read some articles and I watched some videos and watched them talk and blah, blah, blah. So like little things like that. I think one of the people days later, one of the agricultural person said like something crazy. And I was like, I don't even know which one I voted for, but I voted for one of them. So little things.
Do you trust the process?
The voting process?
Do you trust the process of absentee votes?
So, funny question. In the state of Washington here, or in Seattle, they actually mail you your ballot, everybody. And when you're done with your ballot, you seal it, and you put it in a mailbox specific for voting. It's a huge box. Looks like a regular, and it says vote all over it, but it's only for voting for that time. And you go and find that box and put it in. And it wasn't until I saw that I trusted absentee ballots. Weird enough. Like weird. I was like, the whole entire state of the whole county here of King County, I don't know if any other counties do it, all vote by mail. But a specific mailbox is put into place. So it's like you get it at home to whoever needs it, and you have to physically go drop it off into that box. Now here's the difference. I got my absentee ballot from Broward County. My sister, who lives in New York, never got hers. And when she called, they said, oh, we had you in the system, but by the time we would have sent it to you and you sent it back, it would have been missed. So the timeline was off.
I don't know. I think that in a way, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. I just feel like it's kind of, you know what I mean? Like you don't really know what they're going to do with that information.
but you feel a little bit better because you know you've done it and sent it off. It's a
Yeah.
weird. So you have this 50-50 emotion because for me, I'm like, well, I got mine, I filled it out, I did my research, filled it out, and sent it. And then my sister did half of the process of requesting her, or did the process of requesting hers, but never got hers.
Right.
And so that's one less vote. And
I
that's
think
one
there
less
should
person.
be a blockchain technology for voting.
Well, that's amazing. And you and I know a lot about that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a possibility. Someone else said, why don't we have a selfie booth? I forgot where I saw this. Someone said, put a selfie booth or photo booth in the voting ballot, the voting places. You know why? Because what's the first thing you do when you get your damn sticker?
You take a picture and you say, I voted.
Girl, if there was a photo booth, we'd be like,
Right.
right? And it texts you or whatever, like something unique, and be there all day.
That's true. Unfortunately, very true.
Right? And it puts you out there and be like, I voted. We don't care who you voted for, what you voted for, but you went there and you got your selfie done because you did it. You get what I mean? Like little things like that, but a decentralized.
And it should be decentralized. There should be a decentralized process for voting. And there should be like literal information, like a blockchain where we can all see the information and it's public. That's
And then
just
one
my
point
opinion.
for you see the one little,
Yeah.
automatically right there. No, for sure. There has to be different processes. I know that getting up and going to stand in line to go register is annoying. There's a lot of things that are being put in place where, in Atlanta, they did that whole thing where, like, if there's a dash missing in your last name that's supposed to be in there, you can't vote.
Right.
You know how many people can be turned away from that? Like, there's a lot that happens.
Right.
And so.
And I also want to share a fun fact, guys. Remember and do not forget. Women had the ability to start voting in 19. It hasn't even been years yet. It hasn't even been 100 years yet that we've had the right to vote. Like, it took a lot for women's suffrage to happen. How old is this country? And we were not allowed to vote less than 100 years. I mean, it hasn't been 100 years, 1920, guys. So I think we should really exercise our rights and we should take advantage of what others did for us to get here. Like, at the end of the day, if we're gonna just make this like a woman's roar and that's like the theme and the year and whatever, like, guys, let's exercise our rights. And I feel like we as women have a lot of abilities to make a lot of changes if we try to get more involved. I think politics is very male driven, and most candidates are male, and most people in power are men. And the only way that's going to change is if we start getting it's important for us to remember how this all started. And like, the suffrage movement was a very big deal.
Huge. Yeah.
Don't forget that, guys. Go vote, please. Like, even if you decide to vote for a person that no one else in your family wants you to vote for,
just do it.
Just do it.
And save the conversation for Thanksgiving when y'all yell at each other later. But just save the conversation for isn't it amazing? Even my grandparents be like, I can't believe that's our president. Like, I love it to hear like an 80-something-year-old person be like, I'm the same age as
I live
them.
in Cuba Town, honey. And a whole different thing out here.
Oh, I know.
I'm letting you know, it's a whole different
we know. Oh, we know.
Very, very red.
Man, that's why Florida be that one statistic all the time for a bunch of different things, because it's so complicated. It's so the whole thing is just so complicated. That entire, not peninsula. Is it a peninsula? You know what I'm talking about.
This is a weird place, guys.
The whole thing is just super weird, people. I mean, I grew up in Coral Springs.
Right.
Like, there's nothing, you know what I mean? Like, they straight red and they know what they want. And the blah, like, it's no joke. So,
It's interesting.
which is you never know anything. So, I mean, we have
Mm-hmm.
plenty of family members on all kind of areas and places.
Right.
And so everyone chooses for what votes for what they want, for their best interests. Vote for your best interests, whatever it is that you want, as long as you do it and make sure you're counted. Because you can't hold up arguments, you can't be a part of the discussion if you don't do anything. Plain and
Right.
simple.
And stop giving opinions and talking shit if you ain't voting. Straight up.
The worst. The worst people is that. The worst people is that. So I wanted to just make sure I just shared my absentee experience. I got to do some research, and I'll do it next time as the absentee ballot because I feel more informed when I do that way.
That was a great takeaway. Thank you for sharing that. I think that many people are really going to look into that for the future elections. Very cool.
Yeah, for sure. And so that I think is our. Did you vote early?
I did not. I'm gonna vote tomorrow.
You
I
had 2 weeks.
I had 2 weeks.
A week and a half, technically.
I actually don't have to work tomorrow, so it's a little different. So I
Ooh, you
have
got
the
lucky.
time. Yeah, but it's just it's definitely something that I totally fucked up. But today I was gonna vote, but I couldn't. I had to do stuff. I had to go to Walmart. Like Christmas decorations. I had 2 events that I had to do tonight. Oh, shout out to Crypto Mondays. Woo woo. And shout out to Toastmasters International. Love it. Very cool. And yes, this is wrapping up our episode. If you guys make sure to follow us at me at showme_ENT. You can follow Marley at
Love Marley, LUVMARLEY _ on Instagram, Twitter, anywhere else. Just
all
Google it.
that.
It'll come
Yeah,
up.
just follow us and make sure to keep us informed and let us know. And if you guys want to share some of your voting stories, we'll be more than happy to repost that because we definitely want to encourage people to try to make a difference. And and also right here in Calle Ocho at Ball and Chain, they had a Latino, I guess, influence option to get people to start voting. And they had Rosario Dawson, they had
Cute.
girl that's in that show, the Latina girl that's in that show, that she's a virgin and she had a baby.
Jane the Virgin.
Jane the Virgin.
Gina something. I can't remember her
I don't
name.
know. I think she's Puerto Rican. Pretty girl. Yeah, they were out here with a few other Latinas, and they were kind of, getting people to register, getting people to vote, and they were doing their efforts to influence the most Latino influenced state in the country, which is Florida. We are the biggest connection to Latin America. We have the biggest business relationship with Latin America, and we have the biggest population of Latino immigrants in the country on a regular basis because people come in here a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this is a very, very interesting time for Florida. And I know a lot of people probably hear about it in the news, and we're coming out a lot, and people are talking about our elections a lot. And it's because this is a very different place, guys.
I think people think it's a very different.
Yeah, it's interesting. But yes, episode 52, I liked it. I liked
it too. Oh, and by the way, I saw that Obama was at Coyo, and I was
like,
at
Coyo Taco in Wynwood.
I was like, who on the team was out here working? And said Coyo is where everybody's at. Whoever that was hella smart on that team. I just want to make that clear because you and I both know Coyo's where it's at. And when you make it into that back room of Coyo to the club,
what? That reggae room on Wednesdays.
When I saw Obama was there, the girl started screaming. I was like, girl, I would be just like you because we at Coyo eating a shrimp taco, octopus taco.
Oof, what? Them chicken quesadillas from Coyo is fire.
At like 2 a.m. What?
Yeah,
so anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget to check out our website, messymondayspodcast.com. Follow us on our Instagram or Twitter. Subscribe on iTunes. I'm not going to look like this next week. I promise. I'm going to look better, refreshed, not so pale. I'm going to change the lighting also. I'm going to do something. Look at this. This is horrible. Anyway,
girl, you look great for being sick.
Oh, I feel terrible. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube. I'm going to do like the YouTubers, and my nails aren't done, but subscribe down here. Don't forget. Hey, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. So you can get our notifications anytime we go live.
Yes, and thank you for your support. More episodes to come, more guests to come, more messy topics to come, more messy questions to come. It's your girl, Show Me, your girl, Marley Mar, your two favorite podcasters. And it's Messy Mondays.
Bye bye.